Hi, this is Miss Erig, and we're going to go over S-ID.C, and that is Interpret Linear Models. And so far, the only question that we've had is the January 2015 exam, question number 35. All right, so this will be a 4-point question. The nutritionist collected information about different brands of beef hot dogs. She made a table showing the number of calories and the amount of sodium in each hot dog. Write the correlation coefficient for the line of best fit. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. Okay, well, first of all, as soon as you sit down for your test, I highly recommend that you go to second, then 0, and then you're going to hit the letter D, which is above the x to the -1 button. Okay, so we're going to do this first, then this, and then we're going to look for something that says diagnostic on. So let me model that for you. Okay, here's my calculator. I'm going to move this up so you can see more of the calculator. Okay, so I'm going to turn my calculator on. I already have stuff on it. I'll hit clear. I'm going to hit second, then the 0 button, which gives me catalog. Then I'm going to hit the x minus 1 to get this green little letter D. So we're going to hit that. And then I'm going to look for where it says diagnostic on. What this will do is it'll help me to turn on the diagnostic so that I can do correlation coefficients. So see how it says diagnostic on? I'm going to hit enter. So then we're going to hit enter. And then we need to hit enter one more time till we see the word done. Okay, I'm going to model that once more. So even though I already have it on, let's pretend I didn't turn it on. Second, 0. I'm going to hit the x minus 1 so I can get to the D's. I'm going to scan down to get diagnostic on. I'll hit enter again till it says done. Okay. Hey, let's put a smiley face. Yay, it's done. Now, because I have this and they want us to find the correlation coefficient. Well, basically, the correlation coefficient shows us how, or let's just say the relationship between values. Okay. The correlation coefficient is represented by the letter R. If it is a positive number, then it's said to have a positive correlation. If it's a negative number, it's said to have a negative correlation. Okay. Now, if the number is between 0.7 and 1, then we say that it has a strong correlation, and that also goes for negative 0.7 to negative 1. It's strong. If it goes from 0 to 0.3, or 0.3, the negative to 0, it's called weak. Okay? It's really important that let me move this a little bit closer so you can get all this stuff a little bit more bold. There we go. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now, what I need to do is, before I can determine the correlation coefficient, I need to take the numbers and I need to enter the values into stat. Okay, how I do that is I'm going to hit stat, and see stat is located right by the arrow keys. Then I'm going to hit enter for number 1 to edit. So we have stat, then enter. Then we have our two tables. If you need to clear it, you're just going to go up and hit clear. Mine's already cleared. And now I'm just going to enter these numbers in by hitting enter in between. So I'm hitting 186, enter. 181, enter. 176, 149, 184, 190, 158, 139. That's the calories I just entered. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to enter my sodium. 495, 477, 425, 322, 482, oops, I did it, 482, 587, 370, my last one is 322. Okay, so first I'm going to focus on just how to answer this. So after we do that and we enter, and then I'm going to say enter values. Then we're going to have to go to stat again. And this time we're going to hit stat, calc, and then number 4, which is linear regression. In the real test, you don't have to write all of this down. This is just to teach you. So here's my calculator again. I'm going to hit stat. I'm going to go over to calc. I'm going to go down to 4 where it says linear regression. Then I'm going to keep hitting enter until I get values. Enter. Ooh, clearly I didn't hit number 4. Calc 4. Okay, then I enter, 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 enter. Now I have these values. The letter R is our correlation coefficient. So we're going to write down R equals 0.942. Now it wants it to the nearest hundredth, so I wrote the 2. Because this number is less than 5, I know I'm going to leave it at 0.94. Like this, 0.94. Now we have to say, what does 0.94 relate in the context of this problem? Okay. Well, because 0.94 is positive, so we know that it's going to have a positive correlation. And then, because it's between 0.7 and 1, we know it's going to have a strong correlation. Okay? So we can say that overall, the hot dogs had a strong, positive correlation between calories and sodium. Now, to give you just a little bit of extra information, let's say that we wanted to plot the points. Okay, this has nothing to do with this problem. This problem is done, but this is just to give you some extra insight. What we're going to do is, here is our calculator. We're going to hit second y equals, and that puts us at plots. Okay. Now we need to hit enter to select the first one. Okay, so I did second y equals and I hit it enter. Okay. Then we need to turn it on. And then we need to have, if it's asking for Bosco and whiskers, you can do that, but we just want to look at the points. So we're going to go here. So I'm going to have, I did second enter, hit on, turn this on. See how it went on? I just hovered over it and hit enter. Now I need to hit zoom 9. Okay. And zoom 9 gives me my stat. Now in this equation, or let's see, I had stuff in y equals, so the graph didn't look right. So there's our graph. Okay. And as we can see, look at the points. It starts low, and what happens? The sodium moves up, so it makes sense. All right. So lots of notes. I'm going to do one more quick big overview so you can look at everything real quick. Okay. Basically, we had to go to second 0, hit the D to go to diagnostic on. You also could have used your arrows. Then we hit enter, enter, and we got done. Okay, so just some review about correlation coefficients. Correlation coefficients talk about the relationship between values. If the number is positive, it has a positive correlation. If the number is negative, it has a negative correlation. If it's between 0.7 and 1, or negative 0.7 and negative 1, they're considered strong correlations. If the correlation coefficient, which is the letter R, that's between 0.3 and 0 or negative 3 and 0, we consider it to have a weak correlation. Well, how we find correlation coefficient for the line of best fit is we enter the values into STAT, and we just type these numbers into STAT. Then we hit STAT, enter, enter, put the values in. Then we go to STAT, Calc, and number 4 is the linear regression, so we hit enter. Whatever it says to number R, letter R, I'm sorry, that's the correlation coefficient. Because it said that we had to round to the nearest hundredth, I took this and I looked at the 2 and I rounded it down to 0.94. Now I know 0.94 is positive because it's not negative, and we checked it with the graph. Number goes up, so we know it's positive. Because it's between 7 and 1, we know it has a strong correlation. So the hot dogs had a strong positive correlation between calories and sodium. All right? And then to plot points, anytime you have to plot points, you're just going to hit second Y for stat plots, enter, on, and then you have your points. Now, a really important thing is after you're finished, we need to go back and do second Y equals and turn off our plots. Okay, otherwise it'll screw everything up. All right, that concludes this problem.